What's up, guys? It sounds like my laptop's about to fly away from the desk here, so hopefully you guys can hear that. Got some people in the chat. I see. I appreciate you guys interacting. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that for me. Help me grow this dang channel here. Get my stuff pulled up. Then we'll get off. Oops. Gotta close it over here. I don't want to hear myself the whole time. What's up? I think that's supposed to be Island, Tyler, Clay, Olympian. Appreciate you guys. Get my notes here. Olympian just subscribed. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Where in the hell? Okay, there they are. Whew, going crazy. This. All right, so first off, before we get into I go into like record mode for the podcast. Appreciate you guys. Oh, my hat leaves a little mark there. The cough, guys. Never gonna go away. Good day yesterday, 3-0 day. Finally didn't have some, baloney blowouts in the NBA. So it was definitely nice to see. I got a lot cooking up here. In the Discord. I got a notebook full of things. I got, both games written down. I haven't actually looked yet, but I know I'll do a builder in both. There's a QB what did I have written down here? I was really kind of looking at like Dak's. There's like a Dak builder I was thinking about doing, but now that I think about it, I don't know if I want to do that. And because Dak's like QB or passing line for today is 1.5 touchdowns, and like that's very low, but it's like -2 units or something. Or fuck units, I didn't mean unit. Somebody said unit in the chat, threw me off. It's like -200. So I was thinking like Dak touchdowns and then like yards, but I think I was having a hard time like putting it together. I don't remember. I can't remember my notes here, but I had a 3-unit play yesterday. I don't do it very often, but everyone's asking for it. There's a reason you don't do it very often. You do it when you find something that you really like. I mean, I have a similar like look at another play, but like it's juiced to hell, so you kind of have to find a way to get around it. But I'll get into Discord plays here in a bit. Officially like in the Discord after I get through the podcast here and get it started and everything. But before I get going fully, and I'll mention it in the podcast, I've changed around. So if you're in here, I got a handful of people in here right now. If you're new, please do me a favor and subscribe. Like the video, all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure it helps in some kind of algorithm. You should be able to like pull down like the descriptions or whatever. I have the links for the beer money picks for the month and the 2 week if you're interested in joining that. But more importantly, I have a link for this Pony Up, it's called. It's a new app, and the podcast is going to be quote unquote sponsored by it. It's just a buddy that I know that made this app. It's free, and basically you just wager free coins on its spreads, totals, money lines, and you could get for like real prizes and stuff. So of course I get some kickback for getting people to sign up for it and everything like that, but he's a real good dude. I'm trying to help him get his app going, so in the descriptions there's a link. It says to check out Pony Up for free. It's only for Apple right now. Android, we had an issue, we weren't able to get it going. It's really hard to create apps for Android, but check that out though. That'd be awesome. But appreciate the interaction, you guys talking. I'm gonna hop into the plays here, and then as usual at the end, if it's something like beneficial for the podcast or whatever, I just like those people listen on Spotify. I don't want it to get like a 20-minute podcast or something like that. I like to try to keep it 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can get into any like comments you guys might have like afterwards or anything like that. So here we go. I'm gonna start this up, and we'll get going. Appreciate you guys though. I think I got some good plays today. What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks and a detailed analysis. Now live on YouTube as well, and now brought to you by pony up. Real quick intro to this app, guys. I'm not going to go crazy, but in the description on Spotify and any of these podcast platforms, you should see a link. It is just for Apple right now, not Android. It's kind of difficult to develop apps for Android, but it's a link to download this free app, Free, capital Free. You start with some free coins, and it's just like gambling, just like FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever. You're betting on the money line. No parlays right now. Money line, spreads, totals, and you can win coins. What can you do with those free coins? You can turn those into real prizes. I'm talking Madden, PGA, FIFA. I don't know if it's still called FIFA anymore. Some golf balls, like all kinds of like cool stuff. Gift cards. So, it's a friend of mine. He reached out to me, wanted to help promote it. I said, yeah, this is a really cool idea. So anyhow, if you're on YouTube, in the description, there's a link to download it for me. You just got to put your phone number in to verify. If you're listening on the podcast, there should be a link in your description as well. You can click on and, go check them out. And I think it's dope. And I think you guys can kind of get in on like a ground floor type thing, because I think it's going to be pretty cool. But not June, January. I wish it was June. January 14th, before we get into today's plays, let's look and see what we did yesterday. We had ourselves a sweep, and it feels great. It feels fantastic, to be honest. We had in the NBA a lot of 2-1 days, and they were days that we should have swept. We should have quite honestly, I think we should be 9-0 in our last 3 days. But I'll take whatever the math is. What is that? It's 7-2 right now. Mahomes' rush yards comes in. He had a 28-yarder early. I wanted to celebrate, but I was afraid of knees. But he ended up getting us some cushion, so we got ourselves that bet there. Kelsey killed it. I told you guys playoff Kelsey was coming. I talked my buddy Ty into a bet. We collabed in the Discord as well. Gave that as official VIP play. That one hit, and then Joe Flacco was just in a fantastic spot to get his yards. I mean, unfortunately, I hate to see. I was really rooting for him. He was doing QB sneaks for 3 yards. He was running, taking hits, rooting for the guy, But it's a bummer he sucked, but he got us our yards, So you gotta roll with it, I also mentioned Tua interception and Flacco interceptions. Both of those happened as well. So we had a good day, 3-0 day for sure. But to get into the plays that I have for today, the first one's going to be in let's see, this is the early game. The early game, I forget because they move the games around and everything. I'm going to go with Jordan Love pass touchdowns over 1.5. I think it was ESPN bet that had the best line for this one. But it's manageable everywhere. Jordan's over this in 8 of his last 10 games, including a 4-game stretch of him going over 2+ at least 2 touchdowns. In away games this year, he's over this number in 5 of his last 6 games. Today, he gets to face the Cowboys in a dome, so the passing environment is going to be fantastic. There should be no outside factors in him slinging the ball. You might say, hey, what about Christian Watson? Maybe he's playing, maybe he's not today, but without Christian Watson, he's actually thrown 2+ touchdowns in 4 straight games without him. So if he has him, whether it's distraction or not, it's certainly going to be beneficial to his passing game, I think, today. He may or may not play, but with or without him, I think it's still beneficial, and we're going to be all right. The Cowboys are great at home, fantastic at home. In the podcast here, we've been over their team total plenty of times. I mean, at least twice, maybe 3 times we played it. Maybe the 4th time, I think we lost it. But Cowboys at home, their team total is just nuts. And if they're going to have similar success, the Packers are going to have more possessions. This is also a line where we're looking at, it's a 7.5 point spread currently. Well, last time I looked this morning, at least it was. So we're going to have a positive game script to passing the ball. So Jordan Love is going to have the incentive, more than likely being from behind. They're going to be wanting to be passing it, slinging the rock, and, delivering those passes or whatever. If you look at rush touchdowns this year, just to kind of take it like a step further, Aaron Jones only has 2 rush touchdowns on the year. A.J. Dillon only has 2 rush touchdowns on the year. Love himself has 4 rush touchdowns, and then Jalen, whichever it is, the wide receiver on some end arounds, he has 2 touchdowns. They only have a combined 10 rush touchdowns on the year, so So they're not running the ball a lot. Aaron Jones he's been efficient-ish, but when he gets into the red zone, I just don't think he has it, to be honest, guys. They're not getting it done through the ground very well. They're gonna get it done through the air, and they're also getting back Luke Musgrave, the tight end that was real good. He had that like kidney injury, like he took a shot and like hurt his kidney or spleen or whatever it was. So anyhow, we're gonna run Jordan Love over the 1.5 pass touchdowns, and we're gonna kick some butt. My phone has been I've been so busy today. Like every time I touch my phone, I have 100 notifications. I posted something about a potential. Well, I won't get into that. But anyway, I got a bunch of DMs, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and I'm still trying to work on plays, trying to get this done for you. But going to the next one, Jameson Williams over 34.5 receiving yards. This guy's fast. He makes non-fast people look fast. You guys like that movie reference? He plays roughly 65% of his snaps on the outside. So he's a slot and an outside receiver. But the Rams versus outside receivers actually have been struggling here of late. They've been getting torched by outside receivers. Their defense gives up the most targets here in like the last half of the season. They're giving up the most targets, the second most air yards. Air yards are the distance of the ball traveling, whether it's a catch or not. And then, well, I mean, it is a catch, but if somebody has, a 10-yard air yards, but a 30-yard catch, it was 10 air yards, 20, yards after catch. But if he caught it 30 yards down, it'd be 30 air yards. So anyway, deep balls, right? And the most receiving yards in general and the most yards per receptions to outside receivers. If you look at similar speedy gadget type guys against the Rams here recently, Darius Slayton went over for 106 yards. Shaheed went for 70, and Hollywood Brown went for 88. Yeah, Tyler. Hell yeah, hit that like button, right? If you look at those similar guys, like they've been killing it, So these speedy type gadget guys on the outside have been able to take advantage, get behind that coverage against the Rams. The Rams also run a lot of play action. Not the Rams, I'm sorry. The Lions run a lot of play action, and the Rams are give up the second most receptions per pass, per like play action pass. That might have come out weird, but what I mean by that is the Lions run a lot of play action. The Rams have a hard time of defending passes off the play action. Therefore, that's another factor in going along with his receiving yards. He's over this in 3 straight games, 69, 47, and 43. I think it's going to be a close game. I honestly can't wait to see this game. You got stat. Like, did you guys see that? Like Eminem made like a TikTok or something like that? Asked like begging Stafford. He's like, please, Stafford. Like I rapped for you. Like come on, man. Like just give us this one. Let us get this win. I think it's his first time going back to Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly don't know, but it's gonna be a good game. The Rams are also allowing the 5th most yards per game through the air in the last 3 games, compared to the 20th overall that they've been through, pass yards. So here recently, the pass defense, like I said, has been getting torn up a little bit. So we're going to ride Jameson Williams over 34.5. And then very lastly, I kind of have the same thought. Another gadget type guy, Demarcus Robinson over 43.5 receiving yards will be the third play today. What was the second pick is Jameson Williams over 34.5. I'll recap it in a second though, Mike. Third play, Demarcus Robinson over 43.5. Going with another gadget type guy, like I said. My thought here is kind of that you have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, who are just fantastic outside receivers, solid guys. Nacua plays a little more slot. That you have to worry about him. You can't guard both of them. And then now you have Demarcus Robinson at the same time, who is a fast guy. Fast guy. Has been doing a really good job of getting behind the defense. You can't cover all of them, and he's a speedy guy just like, Williams is. He's over this in 5 of his last 6 games, but Stafford didn't play last game, so realistically he's over in 5 of 5 with Stafford playing. So he's been on a great streak. They've been finding some great connection between the two of them. Essentially 100% hit rate here recently. He's gone over in his last 2 games, 82 and 92, so flown over. In his 3 later games, he was at 56, 46, and 44. So not as exciting, but if you look at his most recent production, he's been killing it. The Lions have a really, really strong run defense. I think they give up it's the top 5 for sure. It might even be top 3, if not second, in terms of the least amount of rush yards given up. Kyron Williams has been fantastic. They're still going to be able to run the ball, of course, against them, but guys, I don't know what I have. Outside of the cough, I feel all right, but I apologize for that. I'm not going to re-record 12 minutes of podcast. We're now dying. Moving on. Lions have a good rush defense. They're going to want to pass the ball a bunch. Ooh, sorry. With eyes on Cooper Kupp and Nakua, I love them to get some deep looks, like I said. Yeah, I've had this cough. It feels like 2 to 3 months. Gosh, I'm so sorry for that, guys. In the last 3 games, they are allowing on average 351. Let's say that again. The Lions are giving up 351 yards per game in the last 3 games combined, which is dead last. In the last 3 games, they are dead last in pass yards given up. Overall, they were 27th worst pass defense, and then now they are, dead last, essentially, recently. And you have your ex-quarterback coming, into your home. I think Stafford's going to light him up. I really do. I think Stafford's going to kill him. So to recap here, then we'll close off the podcast, and then if you guys have any additional questions or anything on YouTube, I still see there's 30. Well, it just went down 37. There was 38. So goodbye to that guy. We'll get into the recap here. January 14th, after a 3-0 day, we have ourselves Jordan Love pass touchdowns over 1.5. Jameson Williams over 34.5 receiving yards. And then lastly, we're going to go with Demarcus Robinson over 43.5 receiving yards. As always, I am your host, Lunchtime in the Lab. We brought to you every day. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias. I updated the description, so the people on YouTube watching live or watching this on a recorded version, in the description I have my link tree, which has all my socials, and it has the information about joining the VIP, the Pony Up app that I talked about. That's a fantastic app. I think that's going to be hopefully the next best thing, and many other links that you could check out there. So appreciate you guys watching it on the audio version and everything like that. I'm gonna close it out on here, see what's going on in YouTube, and hopefully we have ourselves another sweep, if not another positive day. And if not, we'll be back for one more day of football in a row on the Monday version. So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna close it out in the podcast here. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. All right. 37 people in here still, so while I got you or while you got me for a little bit longer, I could try to go back here and see what I might have missed. But I see one person just got in here. The 3 plays, just in case you missed it, was going to be Jordan Love pass touchdowns over 1.5, Jameson Williams over 34.5, and then Demarcus Robinson over 43.5. Was going to be the 3 plays for the podcast. Will these be posted in the Discord? If you got the link from the Discord, I mentioned that these will not be VIP plays. I like them. I love them. I really do like these plays. But, in the Discord, I try not to give a whole lot of units out. I try to give, my absolute best. These are certainly legs of other plays. But these are not straight plays for the Discord or whatever, so. But they're solid looks, though. I mean, it doesn't hurt. And if there are some people that follow me, religiously. So if they're taking those plays on top of, that works. Follow me from previous Discord. A lot of people have. I'm glad too. A couple hundred at least. I'm well over 200 or so. I may be going on 250 people that came over with me, so that's nice. Guy said he's been winning for the last 12 months. I've been on a winning streak for 12 months. So that's fantastic. I'm glad you've been along with it. What else? Is Juan still in here? He asked about anytime touchdowns. I don't know what CMOS is. You kind of threw me off on that. You said I gotta start taking CMOS. What? That's for a cough? I kind of just like choked on my spit a little bit. Green Bay upset, man. I was talking to Ty today. I don't know if you guys know him or not. And he's like, "You think the Cowboys are going to win?" And I said, "I want both teams to lose." I don't like the Cowboys, and I'm a Vikings fan. So, of course, I don't want to see the Packers win. So I'm certainly rooting for probably the Cowboys and the Rams today, just because I'm a resentful Vikings fan and I want them to not do anything successfully. Cooking up a same game parlay for the Discord, yes. I'm saving the sweat free for FanDuel for the Lions and the Rams game. I think that's gonna be a pretty solid like lotto-ish type game. So I'm gonna save that. And then I'm thinking like I said, I really like Dak pass touchdowns, but it's juiced big time. So I was going to try to find a way to run like his touchdowns and something else, but I got to figure out what that means or what I want to do and make it like make sense. If not, I have an idea for like an overall quarterback type builder on top of a builder. We got 2 hours till the game starts. I need to probably get out of here and start like actually working on that. I've been a dad and my wife's been like cleaning the whole house. I need to go make sure she doesn't need anything for me or anything like that. And then I got to start like actually putting Discord plays together on top of, I got to get this all stuff finished. So that being said, I think I am going to probably hop out of here unless anybody has any like last second, like questions or anything, then I'm probably going to close this. Need your best. I'm using your stuff for 3 or 4. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. I did the 10K challenge one time and I failed on step 9, and I don't think I ever recovered from it. Whatever I give out in the Discord though, I mean, of course I think it's gonna hit, like I don't know if you guys seen, if you're from the Discord and you've seen like that NBA write-up I did the other day and that builder still lost. Like I actually look at every leg like I probably do more work on a builder than I do on just a dang straight bet. That's why in NBA I'm gonna probably transition to just that. And then yesterday I hit some straights too, so I gotta figure it out still, but we should be good. But I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close this up. I appreciate you guys. I know it's probably because of the weekend, but I had Tyler. I think it was Tyler is his name, mentioned it. There's like almost 50 people in here at one point, which is pretty cool. I like it to be like this like every day, but I know doing this in the middle of the work day and stuff, like people aren't gonna get on, and there's only a dozen or so, but I appreciate the people that hopped on. The 2 receivers was the Lions. So it's the Lions and the Rams. Jameson Williams and Demarcus Robinson, both wide receiver 2 and 3 type guys. Sorry. So one more time. Jordan Love pass touchdowns over 1.5. And then just a reminder, like you guys can rewatch this video here, like once it gets ended, or it's going to be on like Spotify too. Jordan Love pass touchdowns over 1.5. Jameson Williams over 34.5. And then Demarcus Robinson over 43.5. Those are the 3 plays. So pass yards or receiving yards, to answer your question. But okay, if I sit here any longer, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna close it up. You guys can live Joe Bets on Twitter. Go ahead and DM me or something like that. I got a bunch of DMs that I have to get to still yet. So I can add it to the list. But I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna close it up. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys back tomorrow, hopefully.